much for tuning in tonight. We're going to be covering how to do our DAs. If you could go ahead and please mute your computers as you're coming in. And then if you could, please hold all your questions until the end, and we'll address them during the Q&A. All right, so thank you again for tuning in. My name is Tanya Smith. I'm one of the realtor mentors here at Texas United Realty. We're going to be covering our disbursement authorization and how to fill it out. So our agenda tonight is just to go over the intro. What is our DA form? Where do I find it? How do I fill it out? Where does it go when I'm finished? And then finally payday and our Q&A. So our intro, just a little quote: if you do the job right, the money will come to you, but you won't get your money without a signed DA. And that is a quote from yours truly. So what is the DA form? The DA form is actually our disbursement authorization form. It's also known as a CDA, or a client disbursement authorization form. It's a required document for every completed TER file that you submit to our compliance department. Let me just admit these people. Sorry, guys. Let Corey in here. Please mute your computers, please, guys. Okay, 1 second. All right. So without a signed DA, you cannot receive a paycheck. So it's important that you get these disbursement authorization forms filled out and signed by compliance so that you can get paid on your deals. So just some more information about the DA, what's all in it. It just provides an overview of your agent information at the top portion, some information about the subject property, whether or not the client is an Op City referral, some buyer tenant contact information, as well as seller contact information, sales price, title company info if it's applicable, and then a commission breakdown. So let's just discuss these sections one by one. So if you're looking for the title company information, this information can actually be found on your purchase contract in paragraph 5A. It has all the information about the title company. Usually the listing agent will send you the preferred title company for the particular property at hand, and you'll put it in section paragraph 5A of the contract. Whoa, go back here. Sorry, guys. This really throwing me here. Okay. So sales or lease price. You can also refer to your contract under paragraph 3C to find the sales or lease price of your deal. You want to make sure that this amount is correct. You may have been a Rockstar agent and negotiated some additional credits to the price of the house since you executed the contract. So just make sure that the amount you put on the DA is the correct sales price. So the buyer tenant contact information, if you're representing the buyer, I hope you have their name and their phone number. If you're representing the seller, the buyer's name can be found on your contract in section 1 under parties. It has the buyer and the seller's names in section 1 or paragraph 1 of your contract under parties. All right. Still got people coming in, you guys, sorry. So where do I find my DA? So your DA is going to be conveniently located in .loop in your documents section. In the event that it's not there, this is how you add it to your loop. I created a little video here on the right-hand side with just a screenshot or a screen record. So if you go to the templates section, and I see one here with sales transactions when representing a buyer, you can just save it under the sale documents. And when you do that, it's going to pop up in your list of documents. It's there at the top, the DA form. There it is. So the next question on the DA is where do I find, well, it's not a question on the DA, but where do you find your license expiration date? So if you go to www.trec.texas.gov, you can find your license expiration date. And it's really easy. If you just search under the license holder information, type in your license number and search licensees, it's going to bring up your license expiration date. It's also a good idea to go ahead and try to memorize your license number and expiration date. I promise you guys, you're going to need it again for something else. So there's our expiration date there. Another question on the DA form at the top is which compensation plan are you on? So if you're a new agent and a part of our mentorship program, you want to make sure that you put 70-30 here, or mentorship program. If you're not a part of the mentorship program, but you're doing the coaching program, then please put coaching or 80-20 on that question. If you're not a part of a coaching or mentorship program, then put transaction fee under the compensation question. So if you want to know where to find the property address, the subject property address can always be found on the MLS underneath address. It's also in paragraph 2 of your contract. I didn't put that on the slide, but certainly you can find it on the MLS under the address. The next question is if it's an OpCity referral. This one's only got 2 options. It's yes or no. And you just need to select whether or not you received this lead via OpCity. Has the buyer obtained a survey? This isn't going to be applicable if you're representing a tenant, but certainly a buyer. It's another freebie. It's a yes or no question. So when you're in doubt, please check your contract under paragraph 6, letter C. It's going to tell you if the buyers obtained their survey or not. You guys, if you could mute your computers, anyone that's coming in, a little feedback here. So where's the seller landlord contact information found? So if you're representing the seller, of course, you should have their information in your view details on .loop. If you are, or you can check your contract under paragraph 1. If you're representing the buyer, you can check the MLS, pull up the listing and click on the tax records. The owner's name of the name of the property will be there. So how do you calculate your commissions? Now, this is a mentee example only. So when you're calculating your commission, you want to take the total sales price. You want to multiply that by 3% to get the total commission payable to Texas United Realty. And this is if you're on the mentorship program. So Texas United Realty is going to get 15% of the total commission. So you're going to take 15% and multiply that by the total commission to get Texas United Realty's amount of commission. Your mentor and Texas United should have the same number because they're both getting 15% of the total commission. And then you as the agent will take 70% times the total commission. And that's going to be your commission amount. So when you're adding up Texas United Realty's commission you as the agent, your commission, as well as your mentor's commission, those three numbers should equal that top commission amount there. So in this instance, the sales price is $300,000. So if you take that 300,000 times 3%, it's going to give you the $9,000 there, which is the total commission. Now to find out the other numbers, you're just going to take the 9,000 for Texas United Realty, multiply it by 15%. It gives you the 1,350. You could take the 9,000 times 70% to get the agent commission, or the mentee's commission, which is 6,300. And then to get your mentor's amount, it should be 9,000 times 15%. And like I said, again, the Texas United Realty amount as well as the mentor amount should equal because they're both getting 15%. So here's another example. If you're on the transaction fee, you're still going to multiply the sales price times 3% to get the total commission amount that goes to TUR. These are the breakdowns of the commission structure if you're on the transaction fee. Anything up to $10,000, you guys, is $150. 10 to 20,000 in commissions is $250. 20 to 30K in commissions is $350. 30K to 40K in commissions is $450, and so on and so forth. So now that you've done your DA and it's all finished, what do you do with it? So if you're a mentee, you want to make sure to text, email, or call your mentor when your entire file is complete so that they can review it prior to submitting it to compliance for approval. If you're not a mentee and you're paying a transaction fee, you need to prepare to send your complete file, including your completed DA, to turcontracts@atnt.net for final approval and to have your DA signed. So you guys, these are important dates. You want to write these down if you don't know these. So sales transactions that have an option period are due to compliance 3 days after the option period has ended. So if you're working a transaction that has an option period, 3 days after that option period is up, that file is due. If you're working a sales transaction without an option period, those files are due 3 days after the contract date of execution. So whatever the date of execution is, the next 3 days is going to be due on the third day. For lease transactions, they're due to compliance after the date of the lease commencement or when the tenant moves in. Lastly, it's payday. If you're doing a sales transaction, when your file is approved, you'll receive an email with your signed DA in it. You want to forward this copy to the title company listed on the DA, or you can print it out and bring it with you to your closing. If you're doing a lease transaction, the DA is for your records. You should have already submitted an agreement between brokers, which solidifies your commission payment. And then if you have an apartment lease, your invoice should have already been submitted to the listing agent for payment, and then the DA is for your records. All right, so now we're gonna open it up for questions. Any questions about how to fill out your DA? Oh, it's a question in the chat. Oh, please mute Conception Arcos. Okay, sorry. I didn't see that. Any questions, you guys?
Yeah, can you go back through the transaction fee slide? It had 3% and then the fee. I thought it was just a flat fee, or is it 3% and a fee? Transaction fee?
Well, the 3% is actually to calculate the commission. So you want to take the total sales price, multiply it by 3% to get the total commission amount. So in this case, the total commission amount is $9,000. So anything up to 10K in commissions is $150. So as you can see, Texas United Realty is only collecting $150 on this transaction. So to answer your question, yes, it's just the transaction fee if you're on the transaction fee.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Anybody else? Going once, going twice. All right.
Hey, I do have a question. Sorry.
Oh,
I was trying to mute. So with Ops City, what's their fee?
for what type of transaction? Because they've got 3 different fee levels.
So when you do an Ops City rental, or I guess where do you find the?
Let me see. 1 second. Hold on. Let me just. Okay. So for Op City leases, those leases for Op City are 35%. Now, if it's a reward lease, then it's going to be 38% plus your 30% that you pay Texas United Realty. Are you a mentee?
Not on leases anymore.
Okay. So yeah, then it just be your 35% to Op City, unless it's a reward lease, then it's 38%.
Reward lease.
And then your $60 to TER.
How do you know if it's a reward lease?
No, excuse me, Op City leads are 50-50 once you get off the mentor program. Just want to let you know.
Oh, you're not on the mentee program?
Not for leases, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would be a 50-50 split.
Is Fernando on here?
So okay, now I'm confused. All right, so Op City leases.
Yeah, I'm not aware about the 50-50%.
Because I know, because when I did my $20,000 a month lease, I got 5,000. TER got 10 and I got 5. So when you're off of the mentorship program, okay, it's a 50-50 split.
Really, Turk got $10,000 out of you?
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, yeah, I got a $20,000 lease a month. Yeah, that was the price of the monthly rent, $20,000.
But you're saying that Texas United Realty got $10,000 and you got 5?
Well, no, and the other 5 went to Op City and Texas United. So the $10,000 was basically split.
Okay, gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
because I wanted to get rid of that $10,000 check as soon as I could.
Okay.
Yeah, who asked that question?
Tony Gilmore.
Tony? Yeah, I'm gonna check with Fernando, Tony. I don't know. I'm not for sure on that actually.
Okay.
Okay, and I can let you know. I thought maybe he was on here.
But when you do a lease with Op City, it's 50-50%.
Yeah, we're just gonna verify the information, Laura. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
No problem, Tony. And who's your mentor?
Stacy. Stacy was my mentor. We're still in the program for buy and sell, but as far as leases, we're done on that.
Okay.
And when we were under the mentee, right, when we were under the mentee program, it was 30, 35. No, but no.
35, 38.
The 38. So is that when Op City says this customer is viable for the reward?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Any more questions? All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Tony, I'll find out the answer to that question and make sure that I get in contact with Stacy or get in contact with you. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, one thing on the DA form then,
Uh-huh.
if Op City has two tiers, right, which is a regular Op City lease, and then if the person's available for a reward,
Uh-huh.
should we not have that as like a check box next to that so that the office knows that, hey, this is an Op City referral and it's a reward?
Well, you want to make sure that you put Op City down since
Right.
there isn't. I'm trying to let Fernando in. Sorry, guys. I'm can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. Give me 2 seconds, Tony.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Fernando.
Hello, this is Fernando.
Hey, I got a quick question for you.
Yes,
On the Op City leads,
yes.
once they graduate from the mentor program, what's the split on those leases?
Yeah, so so the split is it's still 15% deter and whatever if it's above the 150,000, that percentage, but it's still 15% deter.
Now, what about if it's a lease?
Same,
And what is it?
15%,
15,
1.5.
1.5. Okay.
It's always going to be 1.5 deter.
Deter. And then
Yes.
how about with Op City?
That's what I just said. It's always going to be 1.5 deter. And then if it's a lease, it's 35% always.
To Op City.
Correct. For leases, it's always 35%,
Uh-huh.
and then 15% deter.
Okay. Unless it's a reward.
If it's the rewards is 38%.
And
Correct.
this is whether they're a mentee or not.
Right. So whenever there's a mentor involved, then that's where the other 15% comes into play.
Okay. So, okay.
Yeah. So with a mentor, you add 15% again.
Mm-hmm.
When there is no mentor, you remove the 15% for the mentor.
Okay.
But everything else remains the same.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good question.
So essentially it is 50-50 because of the 35% to Op City plus the 15%.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Op City is very administrative intensive.
Okay.
And thus that's why TER charges the 15%.
Okay.
Because they're such, well, I don't want to say anything that it's being recorded, but it's just very, very intensive administrative work.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not easy. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
Okay, so there's no 50-50 split then. It's just
Well, essentially it is because 30%
It is.
still goes to
Right.
Op City, 15% still goes to TER. So the two combined is 50%, but no, it's not
okay.
50-50
I got it.
per se.
Yeah, it is 50-50, like if you want to think about it that way, yes.
But the breakdown.
But it may change depending if it's on the prime, that prime, which is 38%, there's additional.
The reward ones.
I'm sorry, the reward one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So I hope that answers the questions.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know everybody sees it as it costs a lot of money, but it's more like they're the ones looking for a lead for you, and so they're giving it to you, so they want their money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, the next option is go find your own leads, right? And then you don't pay anybody. You keep it's just a transaction fee. But
Right.
Op City, they're charging because they're looking and searching and grabbing and sending them to you in a silver platter.
Yes.
Nothing's for free in this world.
That's true. This is Pearl. I have a question. What is the reward you're talking about? What does that mean?
I think I don't know. OpCity, I guess, sends you higher leads. Maybe there's a $400,000 house or $800,000 house, and they're going to charge more there.
An extra 3%.
Instead of 35, it'll be 38%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a sweeter deal.
That if it's a reward lead, they'll specify that when you win.
Yes, they're going to tell you. They're going to give you a warning when you first get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be a surprise. No.
Yeah, normally anything under 150 or less will just be 35%. Normally.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, apparently I'm in the wrong bucket because I don't get the $400,000 leads. But
right. So what? Yeah, what OpCity does is they want you to suffer for the first 3 transactions.
Yeah, I've suffered a lot longer than 3 transactions.
Okay, but typically they always want to suffer, and then after that you should start getting better and better and better as you produce more and more and more. You can get better and better leads. I have one agent that he's already getting the $400,000 leads, but he's constantly answering because OpCity kind of grades you to see how fast you respond and how you update your account and how you follow through and how you close, and they're constantly grading you. So if you have a grade of A, they're going to keep on selling you A prime steak.
Yeah. No, I get it. I got good scores. I'm just waiting on that 400,000. But
yeah, hopefully
be careful on the leases because they also will tell you on a lease that it's a reward client. So
yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, so you also have to account for that 38%. Now that I know what it is.
Yeah. Yep, I've seen them on the leases.
But I keep asking for the $400,000.
Yeah, I get you, man.
How many have you closed with them, Tony?
I think I'm on 3. We've done 2. I need to close 1 more.
Oh, so you're not in the 3. You haven't passed the 3 mark.
Yeah.
No. That's why you haven't received the 400s.
Yeah, I've had about 40 of them come through, and I've closed 2.
No, when I meant earlier about you have to complete and close 3 in order for you to get the gravy.
Yeah. Well, I've got the mashed potatoes right now.
There you go. Hey, I love this analogy. Y'all guys getting me hungry. Yes. Right now you have the mashed potatoes. As soon as you're done with the mashed potatoes, then they'll start giving you gravy the next time you order mashed potatoes. Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We're synchronized here. We're connected.
We're all good.
We're all good.
Can I ask a question? What type of what's the quality of their leads?
Well, I'm sure everybody else can probably do their experiences, but what I've heard is they're awful the first 3. They're the worst of the worst. What I mean by that might be a $30,000 lot, or the guys don't have real good credit or something like that, where you really have to work out. It's a real good training per se, because you really have to, engage with other agents if you're a new agent.
Okay.
Or you really gain experience, but they give you the worst of the worst in the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah. They want you to suffer and see how well you perform. And then after the 3rd one, they go, wow, this person really followed through and they closed, even if it was, it was really bad deal as far as, their credit and all that. And they closed. Oh, now we're going to give them the gravy now.
Okay. So you have access to their database, or how do you?
No, they're going to send you. They're going to notify you. I don't know who the other person was. Maybe you can kind of explain how you get notified when there's a lead.
Yeah.
So
go ahead and proceed.
Yeah. So you have an app. You can either go on their website, but you also have an app on your phone, and it'll notify you that there's a lead out there. And just understand that you've got several other agents that are getting that same that same notification. And so
Okay.
you try to claim it, and two things happen when you try to claim it. Either A, you won it, or B, you didn't. If you win it, then within 2 minutes you get a call from their call center, and they give you a brief summary of who's calling, what the client's name is, what they're looking for, and then they bring the client on, um, and then from there they let you go on to uh, have the conversation with the client. You kind of qualify them, and then from there, you can set up additional meetings. You can look for the home that they're interested in, or take them down the path of trying to meet with them. So there is a bit of a process that you have to go through. um,
Okay.
and what they recommend is you talk to them on the phone. And typically what I've been trying to do is, if I can get the information right away and I'm in front of my computer, then I look at the property that they're interested in. A lot of times what happens is they're finding these properties, but they're either they're already leased, they're pending, so now you can have additional discussions to take them down another path to say, oh, this one's leased. What are you looking for? Let me help you put a criteria together and
Okay.
identify one, and then say, let's go meet. Or, with COVID, you could also do video calls, that type of thing. So it, so there is a process through that. Maybe we need to do a training on it
Okay.
to
Hey,
do that stuff.
Pearl.
Okay, and this is Laura. Also, keep in mind that when you get a hold of Op City, they grade you, like Fernando was saying, on how many deals have you closed, and are you meeting clients? Are you updating your status on a weekly basis, like they recommend? Are you contacting the referrals and also claiming leads? They grade you on how fast you press that button to claim,
Okay.
And you have
regardless if you
access
win
to
it or
all
not.
that. Right. You have access to all your grades so that you know exactly where you're at. Like right now, my score is 118 points. My score percentage wise is pretty high on everything else. So,
Okay.
um, for me, I feel like I'm right there. Once I get that third one, then I'll be, I'll be like whoever it was that gets the $20,000 lease.
Yeah, that's what I'm. I want to know.
Hey, Pearl.
Yes.
Pearl, are you a
Yeah.
mentee?
Yes.
Okay. Who's your mentor?
Stacy.
Stacy. If you want to talk
Yes.
to Stacy about getting on Op City leads, I'm sure she'll go through it with you as well on how the program works and give you some specifics and get you the paperwork so that you can get signed up and start receiving those leads.
Okay. I don't even know if I signed up for that with Rick, but I'll find out.
Yeah, you need to talk to your mentor. She's the one that can
Okay.
get you signed up with it.
Oh,
And
okay.
and I know this costs money, and you guys are seeing like, wow, I only get 50%. Keep in mind that as new agents, you're trying to create traction. You're trying to create business. You're trying to see, because you guys have spent $3,000, $4,000 in school, and hard dues and all this other stuff. And the goal here is, let's try to recover most of that money.
Mm.
Let's try to get our feet wet. It's okay. I understand 50% is a lot of money. But hey, at least I'm doing something. I'm getting the confidence that I need, that I didn't have. I'm learning how to deal with transactions and contracts, and how to negotiate, and how to do problem solving techniques. All that is a learning that you're paying for, you can say, essentially. But then eventually you're going to go, wow, I feel confident to talk to someone in an elevator and go, hey, how you doing, sir? Would you like to buy a house today? Right? You're going to get
Okay.
that confidence, is my point.
Yeah.
You're going to feel good about yourself. So I think that struggle that you're paying, and carving out that 50%, hey, it's created my personality change. I got outside of the box that I was in. Now
Right.
you're out there passing business cards, getting things done. You're talking to people, you're networking, and then eventually you don't have to pay Opcity anything, right?
Right.
You're going to do your leads.
And Fernando, leading on to the next segment, I understand that it is, and I got this from Opcity. Once you make that first call, once they make that first contact with your customer, okay, 2 years, okay, after that date, there's no Opcity fees. Okay, so if you put somebody in a 24-month lease, okay, and you met them, like a month before, and you got them in, once they decide to buy a house, that right there is all your commission. And I got that straight from the Opcity person because I asked, when does it start? It starts from the first contact, first day you have contact. So if they want to come back and buy a house with you, and 3 years down the road, you don't have to pay Opcity anything. But if it's within that 2-year period, you have to pay them money. I mean, and also if, say for instance, if they refer you, that's an Opcity lead too.
Okay.
If they refer you over to a friend, that's an Opcity lead too. And I got that from Rick.
If they refer you to a friend, that's their lead?
Yes, it's because
Wow.
you wouldn't have met that person if it wouldn't have been for Opcity. Opcity was the procuring cause.
Oh, okay.
Cherie, are you still on? Cherie K. George, are you still on?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Cherie's gone. All right, any more questions, you guys?
Hey, Brandon here. Quick question for you guys.
Sure.
I just did a lease for a Opcity lead. The lease was done like 2 weeks ago, but the move-in was today.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to submit everything like right now. I know you said it's like 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days after the lease commences.
Okay, I got you.
The third day after the lease commences. Did they pay rent today?
I haven't talked to the client, but I will call them tomorrow.
Yeah, and this is Fernando. I don't want you to guys necessarily have to wait for that 3-day window.
Mm-hmm.
If you have all the paperwork already sooner than that, don't wait until then. Submit it sooner.
Okay, definitely.
Yeah, so don't. Yeah, we do have that 3-day window, but don't wait until then. Just say, oh, I got everything. I got the IBS, I got the lease agreement, I got the PIT agreement, I got the broker notice to tenant, I got the lease applications, I got the copies of the checks. Hey, I'm done. Let me just turn in the paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Because we all have family issues that arise. We go on vacations. There's all these things that happen in our lives. And then we forget to turn in the paperwork.
Got it.
So don't wait until then if you have it all.
Hey, Fernando.
Yes.
So since the office pays the Opcity fee, the paperwork that we send in, do you guys send that into Opcity or?
Yeah. So the process for Opcity that we have to do is like if it's a lease, we have to print out the MLS listing because they want to see that, and they want to see the DA, and they want to see the agreement between brokers. All that stuff they want to see. That's for leases. For sales, they actually want a copy of the HUD statement, the closing disclosure. They want a copy of the DA.
Yep.
So we have to provide that information to them. And then another thing that I wanted to tell y'all is don't put a date of submittal to them. Like, in other words, if you say, oh yeah, they're gonna move in on the 23rd of April. Can y'all do me a favor and add 5 more days to that? Because guess what Opcity does on Monday? They call us. Where's my check? Where's our check? Where's my check? Where's our check?
They're on top of it.
So if y'all can do me a favor and add a little bit more cushion days, that would be great. Because they love to call us.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah, so don't cut it close. That's my point.
Okay.
Yeah, add some cushion in there.
So Fernando, when we know that we've closed the deal, we should not really close it out on Op City.
Right. I think there's another status to say pending or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I would probably close it probably a day after funding. After you hear the word funding.
so the day that we get the notification that our commission check is ready.
Right. Yeah. Typically
Okay.
we use the verbiage funding. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. I did not realize that. Okay.
Yeah, because then Op City is like, they send us ugly messages sometimes. Yeah, there's things that I don't want to tell y'all, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just they
No,
want
it's
their
good.
money. They want their
Good.
money. They want their money.
Right. No, it's good to know that because I don't think it was clear, at least from my perspective. So now I know.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's great to get leads, but boy, the administrative part is it's awful.
Okay.
But that's our own internal office. That's dirty laundry. I don't want to give y'all.
No, but the reason why I ask is because in the OpCity app, right, at the point you say closing, then it's almost alluding to the fact that I need to send them paperwork. And
No, we send it. We send it.
yeah, okay, you send all that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool.
We always have to send them the HUD statements. We always have to send them copies of the MLS listing for leases. We always have to do all that. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's clear now. Thank you.
Yeah. No, these are good questions.
Okay.
So should I leave my client like at applied or signed on OpCity?
I would leave it on, well, depending on which stage it is, leave it signed. What we just talked about was never put them in closing until you get the notice from the office that.
Well, from the title company, you mean? Because the title company is the one that says funded.
Yeah. Yes.
We don't say that at Texas United Realty. It's the title company.
Right.
Yeah,
Somebody asks.
Because they're expect as soon as they close, they're expecting within 5 days to get their money.
Got it.
Somebody asked me how many OpCity leads before I got my $20,000 lead. I had about 7. So this was my 8th closing or 8th deal with them. But I've been very, very proactive in keeping up, my stuff.
Wow.
Well, I need to know what you're telling them because I'm not getting the right information.
No, but you haven't finished the 3 yet.